Now, in an ordinary off season, when you want to add players like this, you're able to have face-to-face interactions with them, get to visit them and their families, and travel. With you being confined to your home right now, and those student athletes being confined to theirs, what type of a challenge does that present you when you want to add three or four pieces this summer? Three or four pieces that weren't really on Detroit Mercy's radar until maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. In some senses, in terms of future recruiting, the previous staff had offered some of the better talent, local talent in the state and in Detroit. So I am ahead of the game there because when I'm talking to these young people, they'd already received an offer. When you talk about the current individuals coming in right now, it is a challenge. I mean, I guess I can see them virtually, but you're not looking them in the eye. You're not talking to their parents, letting them know who you are, about this great, fantastic culture you want to build, about what is special about the University of Detroit Mercy. You're not looking, you're not shaking their hand and really letting them get a sense, a true sense of who you are, other than through the computer. But that has certainly made it a challenge. And the other thing is most schools have offered some kids, in November, and they're a little further ahead than we are. But I'm excited. One of the things that has made it a little easier for me at you mentioned Eastern Michigan and Virginia Union. They didn't have um, a ton of kids that were returning, meaning they had graduated many kids. So I was able to bring in more kids that were reflected my style the first year. It'll be a little different because I probably will only bring in three or four new players this year and then try to build for the future. So I'm still going to be working with the previous players who I run an up tempo style, very fast paced, and that wasn't really the style they played this year. So I have to be a little flexible in what I'm able to do, but I'm still going to put a great product on the floor.
As a head coach, your teams have had tremendous academic success, and there's a number of really dedicated members of this current roster that have really done a nice job balancing those two. But in your eyes, how do you create that balance of what's required in the classroom and then what you expect from them in season?
You try to listen for that through the recruiting process. You want individuals that when you're talking to them, they may not be able to talk long because they have to get back to their studies. I mean, that's something that is already going on in their current life. So I don't want to just be teaching every student athlete to have that balance. I mean, it will be reflected in their grade point average sometimes, or in the honors they've received academically. You'll be able to see some signs that they were, a good student. They'll often have their sights set on a major already. They have really thought through some of the process. And then you have those individuals who may be super athletic talents and need someone to guide them to the balance. I'm okay with that. I just think, I believe that the more prepared you are as a student athlete, as a student, the more time you will have to devote to getting in the gym and getting shots up. If you're always saying, hey, coach, I need to really get out of here. I got to go study. I got to go, finish up a paper. They may not be as prepared as they need to be to become first team all conference player of the year. And I've had a great um, list of individuals who have achieved athletically and still been well above 3.0 students. That's the reward of coaching.
What's your final message to I'll say the fans, but also the students that are on campus in the fall that maybe haven't gotten behind the women's program due to its recent challenges? How do you win them over? What's your message to the local fan base that really hasn't come out, and you try to turn the attendance around and try to get more energy in the program this upcoming season?
You said a great buzzword, energy. And I am an energy person. I love energy from the players. I love energy from the fans and, from the professors. I want them to see someone who is really passionate about not only building a winning program, but building a culture on campus, restoring pride to the women's basketball program where people are like, hey, we got to get to the game. In the past, I've tried to build programs where not only local fans and female fans, but men will get off of work and come to the women's game. If it's a doubleheader, a lot of men say, "Well, we're going to come toward the end of the women's game so we can catch the men's game." Well, the programs that I've built, men have been excited to see the women's game and might leave before the men's game is done. So, I just want them to know that we're going to put a great product on the floor, a product where, you'll see messages going out with success stories of our students. These young ladies have some fantastic majors. And for them to be balancing basketball and academics, I don't know if I'm coaching a basketball team or, an aeronautical engineering team. I don't know. But I'm going to try to be visible. I'm going to try to walk through campus. I'm going to try to make sure that the media, both at Detroit and also locally, put out like hometown stories of the kids in the program. So as they have great games, they'll be saying, "Man, she's a biology major. She's a chemistry major." So it becomes bigger than basketball. And that's what I want this program to be. I want it to be successful, but I want it to be bigger than just the game of basketball.
AnnMarie, thank you so much for your time. And on behalf of Titan fans everywhere locally and beyond, we wish you all the best and look forward to seeing you this fall.
Oh, thank you so much. And we're going to make sure you get some more shirts, Denny.
Thanks, Coach.